Hi everyone, in today's Hot Topic, we are tackling the hard truth in health promotion and health education planning. Even when you follow best practices, your program can still unravel, not because your plan is flawed, but because the system around your plan becomes unstable. In 2025 and 2026, we saw this play out across the U.S. as major public health grants were suspended and later restored, creating a cycle of uncertainty that disrupted implementation in real time. On February 13, 2026, about $600 million in public health grants to 4 different states was suddenly put on hold, only to be temporarily reinstated by a federal court. This is a flashpoint in a broader pattern of freezes since early 2025. From the outside, it looked like routine policy tussling. Inside health departments, it stalled hiring, paused services, and derailed timelines, even when the money ultimately arrived. The past 2 years have brought staff reductions, reorganizations, and data system disruptions at federal agencies. This is a trend that weakened the foundations for local programs who rely on guidance, surveillance, and coordination. At the same time, states were asked to remain ready for measles resurgence, H5N1 concerns, and climate-related emergencies, all while preparedness capacity and steady funding were uneven across the country. The bottom line is that the planning environment itself became the risk, not the specific intervention that was designed. Let's say that you do everything right. You conduct a rigorous needs assessment. You aligned to national frameworks like Healthy People and other CDC action plans. You built a strong logic model, fidelity plan, and evaluation design, and yet still, the freeze hits mid-implementation. Your data analysis position cannot be extended. Your subaward to a community partner pauses, and your procurement for outreach materials stall. This isn't a planning failure, it's a system shock. Research and commentary during this period emphasized that public health depends on continuity. When grants are frozen and revived in cycles, programs fracture, even if funding is later restored. So the key messages for doctoral level planners is that best practices are necessary, but not always sufficient when the financing context is unstable. So what actually breaks down during a funding freeze? Well, people do. Offers are rescinded, contractors pause work, trained staff exit to more stable roles. Rebuilding that human capital often takes longer than the freeze itself. Your processes break. Hiring, purchasing, and subawards all stall. Even after reinstatement, backlogs can delay your intervention, start, or disrupt your dose and reach targets. Partnerships tend to erode as trust when a planned service disappears for weeks at a time. Community partners may reprioritize, shrinking your pipeline for recruitment and retention. Data and evaluation are disrupted as surveillance and reporting gets reduced and reduces your ability to show progress. A major problem that was highlighted repeatedly in 2025 preparedness reports. In this climate, contingency planning is not pessimism, it's professionalism. Here are some strategies to build into your plan from day one. Diverse and layer funding. Where possible, braid in modest state foundation or other health system dollars alongside federal awards so critical activities like data collection or outreach don't fully collapse during a freeze. Build modular implementation. Phase activities so early modules can run on lean resources while later modules expand when funds stabilize. This protects dose and exposure minimums, even during turbulence. Protect your people. Cross-train staff and document SOPs so a single vacancy doesn't halt delivery. Include maintenance of effort language with partners to preserve a minimum service footprint during interruptions. Pre-authorize procurement and data use. Complete all data sharing agreements, IRB amendments, and vendor pre-qualifications early, so a restart after a freeze is days, not months. Communicate early, often, and honestly. Internal briefings, external partner updates, and community notices maintain trust and predictability, a lesson underscored in the 2025 Public Health Year in Review analysis. So here are some implementation tactics that withstand shocks. Minimum Viable Implementation, or MVI. This defines the smallest effective set of activities that preserves the fidelity and equity during shortfalls. For example, maintaining screen and refer workflows even if classes pause. Adaptive scheduling. Keep flex calendars for school, clinic, or community sites so you can surge when funds return without missing seasonal windows. Data continuity plan. Prioritize low-cost, high-value indicators you can track under any budget scenario, such as attendance, reach by priority population, and basic outcomes to protect your ability to demonstrate your progress. Partner redundancy. For every critical function, such as translation, transportation, or outreach, identify 2 partners so one disruption doesn't create a single point of failure. So here's the core lessons learned from the 2025-2026 funding crisis. You can plan impeccably, implement faithfully, and evaluate rigorously, and your program can still falter if financing and data environment collapses around you. That is not a reason to be cynical or give up. It's a reason to expand what we mean by best practices to include contingency financing, workforce resilience, data continuity, and relationship management under uncertainty. As you continue to design your health initiative, ask yourself, if funding paused tomorrow, what keeps this program going? Who do we keep serving? What data continues to flow? And how quickly can we restart? In this era, excellence in planning means preparing for the science and the shocks. Do that well, and your programs will endure, even earn greater trust when the unexpected happens.